Thanks, Chris, and welcome to all our attendees today. Let's begin by introducing our company, Thrive Technologies. We're an implementer and provider of ERP software, and we have been a Sage reseller for over 20 years. And in our team, we have a combined experience of over 100 years in the construction software industry. We have a complete range of software solutions for the construction industry, so whatever construction speciality your business needs, we have products and solutions that will help your business. We are a consultative business, and we will visit your premises, review your current systems, and make some recommendations on solutions that would fit your business. For more information, please check out our website at www.thrivetech.com.au. Today we're going to concentrate on home builders. We are the proud partners of the BuilderMT software in Australia and New Zealand, and we service and support many home builder clients. So let's talk about purchasing and scheduling for home builders. In our last webinar, we spoke about how technology is going to change the way home builders work. Today we're going to concentrate on purchasing and scheduling. Here is what we're going to show you today. Firstly, we're going to show you how to automatically create your purchase orders from estimates. Then we're going to show you how to do requests for quotes. Then we're going to go into cost management, which is a very powerful part of purchasing, which keeps all of your costs and maintains them by area. Then we're going to go and have a look at scheduling. And finally, you can see how we put all this together on the Builder portal and make it available for supervisors and trades. For those who were not at the last webinar, we're going to introduce you to BuilderMT, the leader in technological solutions for the home building industry. BuilderMT originated in Australia, and the first module, purchasing, was developed for the rapidly growing builders in the building boom in the early 2000s. The power of this module enabled home builders to rapidly process purchase orders in different building areas, and we're going to show you how powerful that is today. From there, the company was purchased by a US company to develop the product, and today we have the leading home building product in the US. As you will see, it is a completely integrated solution from sales through production into accounts and even warranty. So now I'm going to bring up the chart of all the applications. As you can see here, we start off with the sales area, we come through estimating, we then move into the production areas, into the accounting side, and then after we've built it, we can also do warranty. So it's a completely full solution from end to end. Today we're going to concentrate on the production areas, where my mouse is in the middle there, purchasing, scheduling, and the Builder portal, and then show you how all this fits together. So basically what we're doing here, from our estimating system, we can automatically create purchase orders and send them out. We're also able to store suppliers' pricing by sales or building area, and as soon as the production estimate is received, purchasing knows what supplier pricing to apply and creates the orders. If you send out requests for quotes for all your jobs, you can use bids to send out the information to trades and suppliers. Select the preferred suppliers and send it to your orders. You can also use this feature to update your prices by area. Once a job is won, we transfer the estimate and the purchase orders into the job costing system. The scheduling and purchasing system are linked, so that if a schedule moves out, the suppliers are notified. The job scheduling and purchasing information is now available on the Builder portal, which is a web-based application where supervisors can update jobs, see documents, send emails, and create VPOs. So let's talk about purchasing. Firstly, why is purchasing so important? The tight margins and the heavy competition, it is really important to get the cost side of your business efficient. The main reasons for good purchasing are the following. It is important that you maintain the margins. That is, the total cost of the job needs to be within or very close to the budget that you won the job on. Secondly, you need to have accurate costs to estimate with. And thirdly, you want to set your selling prices so you get the margin you want, or you know what margin you need to go in with to win the business. So now we're going to go through and show you how to create orders from estimates, how to select your subs and suppliers by area, how to send your orders with documents or use the trade portal, how to create VPOs, ETSs and variations, and how you send this all into the accounting system. So let's have a look at purchasing. I'll just give you a minute to see that screen here. So here we have the purchasing activities screen in purchasing. You can see here over on the left-hand side, we have a purchasing activity name. This is how we're going to cut up the estimate to send it out with orders. And they're already sorted here. So what we do in this screen is we set it up so that when we bring an estimate in, it will automatically grab everything we need. So just moving along the screen here, we have the purchasing activity name. Further along, we have the scheduling activity link. So that, for instance, the concrete piering is linked to the concrete piering. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. This is a very important part of the system. We have the trades that are connected to the various purchasing activities. We also have the document types that we want to send out with emails and with bid requests. And over a bit further, we have the default job cost codes, because we want to make sure when we send this budget or any of these orders through to the job costing system that it's in the right place. And lastly, over here on the right-hand side, we have some areas set up. Now, one of the most powerful things about BuilderMT purchasing is the ability to have multiple areas. So what that basically means is we can build the same house in as many different areas as we like, and we can swap out the subcontractors for the different areas. So for example, I've got two areas set up here. I've got a metropolitan area and a Hunter region, and I can have different subcontractors in those regions. And when I bring my estimate in here, it's going to look at that and it's going to automatically pick the right people. Just a note on that as well, we also do to be determined suppliers, a TBD supplier. So you may not know when you start the job who the plasterer is going to be or who the plumber is going to be. So we can make it a to be determined vendor, and at any time in the process, we can change that to the right supplier and send the orders out. So let's now have a look at purchasing. So here I have my issue purchase order screen. I've just brought in this estimate, and just a note on that, we're not going to go in and show you estimating today, but we have a couple of very strong estimating products in Sage Estimating and also BuildSoft Qubit that we sell, which you would perform your estimate before you brought it into purchasing, and you would import the quantities, and purchasing will set it up exactly how we told it to set it up. So here I have on this job, here I have all of my purchasing activities set up, and I have the various items in here that it's already looked at. If I click on the header for any of these, I can come in here. If it's in a perfect world, if the estimate's perfect and I can send them straight out the door, that's all I do. But I can come in here, I can change a supplier, I could change the pricing, I could go down to another level here, I could change the pricing if I want to. You see it's all set up, it knows what cost code to go to, it knows the price, it's got the GST and so on. If I right click anywhere here, I can add changes to it, I could substitute an item in here, I could delete it, I can do anything I want with it. But the idea being that it's right when it comes in here. So what I've done here on this particular job is I've let some orders already. And all I could let the whole job if I wanted to by clicking this box, but I could just tick in here and select a couple of orders and then right click on them and issue them. So it's come up with the amount that it wants to send, and I click on it and it will send it out the door. And it's gone. So those orders are gone. The black shading here indicates that I've sent the orders out, and I can let these anytime I want and work on them, and they're always there. Just to see what I've already sent out, this is the issued summary here. If I right click, I can have a look at them at any time I want. And your order will look something like this. This is a standard one out of the box with the Thrive logo on the top. You can have whatever verbiage you want down the bottom, or terms and conditions, or whatever you'd like on there. That's there forever, that order, and we can review it at any time we like. So pretty easy. Bring the orders in, send them out the door. So now I want to talk about cost management. So in cost management, we're going to have a look at how to store costs by trade and area, how to store future costs and special pricing, how to do requests for quotes, and how to use the builder portal. So let's go and have a look at cost management here. So here again, I have all my purchasing activities on the left-hand side. If I click on any of the trades here, it'll bring it up. I have all my items in here. If I click on an item here, you'll notice down below that I have selection of prices here. So I've got prices for the metropolitan area and for the Hunter region here. I can have as many supplier prices as I want in here. I've got a current cost here. I've got the last two costs that are expired. Over on the right-hand side, I could also enter future costs with a next date. This is very good if you have, for your PC items, for example, if you've got specials coming up and you want to run the specials on a particular range, you can set an effective date here and bring them in. When I right-click on any of these, again, I can add a cost to it. I can edit a cost. I can export a cost to a file and send it out to our suppliers or our subcontractors, who can fill it all in, and then we can import them back into the system. We can also roll over costs, and let me just quickly explain that to you. When you first come into the system every morning, it asks you, do you want to roll over the costs? And if we say yes, what it will do is look at all of the information in cost management, and if costs are due to be updated today, that's what it will do. You have your choice on your current jobs of whether you want to update the costs then and there, as you might want to keep the costs that you did the estimate with. But again, a very, very powerful feature. I can also do the same from the menu here. If I click down, again, same sort of functionality. So let's now, we've had a look at cost management. Let's have a look at requests for quotes and bids. So I go under bid management here. Again, if you always send out requests for quotes for every job that you do, you can set this up so that it will automatically know when you come in here and the bids will be waiting there to send. So let's have a look in here. So here I've got a bid that I've set up. When I set the bid up, it automatically knew who the electricians were, and it brought the electricians in here. I can do this either line by line if I wanted to, or I could do a lump sum quote. It doesn't matter. So the process is that I send out these requests for quotes. I can then import the prices that they give me, or I can enter them manually. And once I've entered them all in there, I can make a selection on who I want to use, and I can accept and award the bid. And what it will do is it will go into purchasing and it will issue an order straight out the door. It keeps full history of all of these bids in here as well, and will also send out all the documents as you go. So again, a very powerful feature, and it suits a lot of people to send your quotes out. Very simple. Okay. That was cost management and request for quotes. So now we're going to talk about scheduling for home builders. So what I'm going to show you today is how to set up templates, how to apply those templates to jobs, how to update a job schedule, and how it links to purchasing, and also how we allocate our labour resources for subcontracts. So let's have a look. So back in my live software again, and let's go into scheduling. First thing I want to show you is templates. So a scheduling template, you can have as many of them as you like. They are basically full of scheduling items and milestones. So this particular one we're looking at here starts from when I receive a deposit from the customer and goes through all of the pre-construction tasks, the colour selections, the permits, the insurances, and all of those things. Or you could just have a construction one. You can have a two-story template, a single-story template, one for each job, whatever you like to have. And what we do is when we set these templates up, we put durations in here, we put predecessors, so we're all set to go. Once we win a job, we come in and we apply that template to a schedule for a job. So here's a job here, the same job that we've been working on the whole time. And you'll see that I've given it some start dates. It's brought in all the scheduling items and we're ready to go. And so some of these particular suppliers here, because these are pre-construction ones, we've got the supervisor as the supplier here. You could make it the sales office, or you could make it whatever you want in there. And then we get down into the construction area. Now you might remember when we were on the purchasing activities screen, how we linked the supplier to the purchasing activity in the order, and you can see here all the suppliers for these jobs are linked against the scheduling activities. So again, what that means is this schedule moves out for any reason, we can automatically notify anyone down the line that the job's going to be delayed, and they could delay their deliveries or their work. So there's lots of things we can do here. If we go to any of these particular tasks, we can double click on them. We can change anything we want. We can change the dates in here. We can change the durations. We can put notes on them, trade notes. We can make reminders for various people, and we can also do checklists. And I want to talk to you about checklists. What we can do is we can say for any particular task or trade that a contractor has to fulfill certain tasks to get his payment approved or approve his order. So here's a little one here for the frame carpenter. These are these couple of things that he has to do. So the supervisor ticks the box, and when all of these tasks are complete, then the activity is complete. We also have this in a Gantt chart view, if people are familiar with that. And it'll look like this. Everything in green is on time and everything in red is late. And all my jobs are late because it's always demo data that I do. And again, very quickly we can see how this job's going. So that's a quick look at scheduling. Again, very powerful, very quick. Got some wonderful anecdotes from customers about they thought that they built a house in a certain amount of days, and then when they got scheduling, they realised that it was longer than what they thought. And after using scheduling for any amount of time, they were able to shave a lot of time off building a house simply because it's so efficient and they know what's going on a day-by-day basis. So the last thing I want to look at in scheduling is resource allocation. And just quickly bring this up. So for any trade in any area, let's have a look at one here. Let's grab one here. So for any trade in any area, I can bring up and have a look at all the jobs that are allocated to a particular supplier, a particular vendor. So let's just have a look at what it does here. So what it's going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to look at all of the jobs that I have and all the suppliers, everyone that I've got in there for concrete. It's going to come up and tell me, it's going to come up and tell me if I have any conflicts with what I've allocated there. I'm hoping everyone still hear me. I've just seen a message that's just come up and said that there might be something with the communications. Okay, so here we go. Here's all our jobs here. If I'd use Hanson, obviously is the preferred supplier on this job. If I'd use other concrete suppliers, I could simply, and I wanted to allocate them to, I can simply pick this up and drag and drop it if I want to other suppliers and organise my labour. So again, very powerful. It's gonna set that out. But people who schedule the jobs can look at it quickly and see what's on. If a particular trade or a supplier has too much work, and make the appropriate changes to it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Builder Portal. So the Builder Portal is a web-based application where we bring all of this information together so that the supervisors and the trades can work together. And what that means is they don't have to come to the office anymore. They can do it all on site, either on a phone, on a tablet, or on a PC. And it's a very efficient way of working. So we're going to show you what supervisors can now do. They can view the orders, they can place VPOs, they can update the job schedule, they can communicate with suppliers, and they can view all the job documents and plans. So as I go in there to have a look at it, just before I click in there, I just want to show you something in the supplier setup here. So before, when you saw when we sent orders out, what we did was we emailed them out the door. And that's been the case for a lot of years, and we send the documents out there and we can get some very big emails that we send with the packet of stuff that we send out to all of the suppliers. Now we've got some options. So this is in a supplier screen. These are all the different ways I can communicate with a supplier to send documents to. Normally we use email, or we could print them, or we could have faxed them, but now we've got the trade portal. Instead of having to send them out the door, we can just put them up in the trade portal, and the suppliers and the subcontractors can come and get them. So it's like self-service. And if you could think about how much time this might save you in the office, it's quite extraordinary. So this is going to be the new way that we're going to communicate with the suppliers. So let's go in and have a look at the trade portal. So again, this is a web-based application. I'm on the web here. I can access it anywhere that I have a web connection. And what we do is we give the supervisor the things that we want him or her to do out in the field. So you can see here, this is a job schedule I have here. And there's a whole lot of things. I'm logged on as Jim, the supervisor. And Jim, the supervisor, has an inbox which works very much the same as a normal email function. And he can do his various things straight from the field. So here I have particular activities on these jobs. The idea being that for each supervisor who is tagged to a job, he gets daily his scheduled tasks that he has to complete. Doesn't matter if he's got 10 jobs or he's got 3 jobs or he's got 2 jobs. So here again, this is all the information that we saw back in the Office version where we had purchasing and scheduling. We put it all together and it's now on the trade portal. I'm not going to spend too long on here today because our next webinar in a couple of weeks is specifically on the Builder portal, and we'll be showing a lot of detail there. So here's a scheduling item here. Again, I've got a whole lot of things. I can create a variation purchase order. This is a big thing. In the industry, we find that the supervisor on site, they're making phone calls, they're scribbling bits of paper, they're doing all sorts of things when they need additional labor or they need additional materials on an order. I can go in here and I can create this VPO. I can send it away to the supplier, or I can send it into the office for approval and it's done. Secondly, if I want to, I can look at the purchase order, the same purchase order that we viewed when we're in purchasing in the office. I can communicate with the supplier. So I can get his info, I can see his mobile there, I can see his email address, and I can send him a message. I can also go into this task, view the activity like I did before, change it, move it, and do whatever I need to. This also has a Gantt view in here as well, which is the same as the Gantt view that we saw in scheduling back in the Office version again. So there's 2 sides of this of the trade portal, and I just quickly want to talk about it now. The first side is the supervisor side, but the second side is also the trades. So these are things that the trades can do. So they can view their purchase orders, they can download and upload requests for quotes, and you remember we did our requests for quotes in our bids. Back in the office, they're sent out there, they will get a notification that there's a request for quote that they have to fill in with the drawings. They can download that when they get home in their office, bring it down, print the plans out, do the estimate, send it back. They can see their job schedules. And for those of you doing a lot of jobs at once, for example, and like we saw before, there's a lot of concrete deliveries and things like that, they'll be able to see all those coming up. They can collaborate with all the suppliers and the other trades and view job documents. Just on this, the industry, we get feedback from the industry that many of the subcontractors are still using fax machines and they don't have emails and those sorts of things. And it can be difficult for them to, cope with the changes in technology. We have the technology now and it will eventually change, because we've got Gen Y coming through and they love their phones and they love their technology, and they're going to want to work like this. The Builder portal saves you a lot of time and money. Namely, schedules are updated instantly, VPOs are done straight away, supervisors do not need to drive in the office and can be on site running the jobs. And most importantly, if you have a problem on a job, we will know straight away. So let's just summarize what we've done today. We showed you how to automatically produce orders from estimates. We showed you how to do requests for quotes. We showed you the power of the cost management system and how you can organise your pricing and your costs and your suppliers by area. We went through scheduling and showed you how you can set up schedules and how you can link that to your orders. And we also showed you the builder portal. So now we come to the end of the presentation. We'd invite any questions from attendees, and thank you for your time.